I've been wanting to buy one of these circuit tracers, was what I'm gonna call a circuit tracer forever. And the one that I wanted was like a whole package and it was a few $100. I saw one in a pawn shop one time and I should have just picked it up. However, Fluke being one of my favorite brands, they've always been reliable for me, and I just am just a Fluke fanboy. They had this and I thought I would try it out. So it's the BK120 and it's got apparently a toner and a tracer, however you want to call that. So let's open it up and take a look at what it's got. And I wanted to point this out as well too. This is what I have on my cart daily, and this is not a circuit tracer, although it looks like it's in the same package. This probably has different functionality that generates a tone. I'm assuming that this doesn't, but now curiosity's got best of me and I'd like to try it out. But what this device does is test your outlet to make sure that you have no open neutrals and make sure your hot and your ground and your neutral all the way they're supposed to be, as well as being able to test a GFCI through this ground fault circuit interrupt. And this bad boy right here, which is why I like to use it, is because it's got a beeper on it and you can turn the beeper on and off. I'll look at that here in a second. And if the circuit's energized, it'll beep, and if it's de-energized, it won't. So if you can't see the outlet, or the outlet's kind of weird, especially exterior, when you're on the outside of a property and you got to get under one of those covers, having the buzzer on and off is great. The other thing is when I'm powering my cart, put that bad boy on there, turn the buzzer on, and then just walk over and plug the extension cord into the outlet. And then if I can hear the buzzer, then I know I've got power not only on the outlet, but on my cart. So let's open this bad boy up and get the batteries loaded and see what we got. A few moments later. Comes with 2 AAA batteries, so I'll insert those, and it looks like it's just a little on-off type thing, no screw to unscrew and lose or anything like that, so that's a good thing. I like it when they do that. Now, I haven't read the manual and I didn't look at it very much. It's just one of those things where it looked like it was relatively self-explanatory, as well as not that expensive considering the quality that Fluke generally puts out. But it looks like it has a non-contact voltage detector because it says NCEV on there. I'm assuming that's what it is. And this looks like it might be an on-off switch. Oh yeah, it's on-off switch. And then is there a light? Oh, okay. Yeah. So that turns it on, and that turns on a light. Interesting. We'll just run through the manual real quick since it's relatively easy because it's illustrated. So you press the button once to turn on, you'll hear 1 beep, and then turn off for a second, you'll hear 2 beeps, and then it looks like it auto defaults off after 5 minutes. To the flashlight, turn it on, just press it, and that's what I did. If you see red, it looks like the batteries are low, maybe. This looks like this is pretty sensitive. And then, let's see, non-contact voltage is switched, down. It's got that orientation, so switch it like that. But the way that the person's thumb is it looks like that. Nobody's gonna do that. And then you got a blue light, 2. Test your wire. Okay, well, that's hot. What's interesting about it is, I guess you can't see that. I'm just doing it on my monitors. So let's assume that's HDMI. Let's assume it would help if we turned the light on. You can see what I was doing. Turned it off. This thing's got to be easy to do. Okay, so I don't like these non-contact voltage detectors, and that's why I don't have one. If it's hard enough for me to figure out exactly what it's trying to do, I mean, I don't know. Like, I was putting it over here on the laptop. So anyways, there might be a sensitivity setting on there. That's not why I bought this, so I could care less about that. Ground fault circuit interrupt. Obviously, if you press that button, it tests it. You test it in the outlet, you reset it in the outlet, and then you could do the same thing by this. So just in case this is malfunctioning or not working, the one that's built in, all of these are just your normal wiring to make sure you don't have an open neutral or whatever. And now we're going to plug it in and see if we can find the breaker. Let's see. So it says go over the breakers up and down 1 time, and then go up and down 2 times. And then you should find the breaker, and then you should turn it off and the light should go off. So let's try that. All right, I'm under my desk, and this is a little outlet strip that I built for my desk. I just welded these to the back of a piece of steel plate, then bolted the steel plate on. And let's see. All right, so that is the one that comes with the circuit finder. I'm not going to test the GFCI. I'm not sure if it's on one, but just so you know, or just so you see, this is the one I was talking about that I use for the little buzzer. Sometimes the buzzer works, sometimes it doesn't. It got dropped, and that's the little buzzer. That's why I like that bad boy. And this is in the same footprint, but I doubt they do the same thing. So let's go ahead and see if we can find the breaker. And the LED seems to work pretty good. This is with all the lights turned off, and I can use it to find my way around. Not bad. But now let's turn the lights on and see what we get. All right, so I'm assuming this is the correct panel. Hey, come on now. Assuming that this is the correct panel. Again, I went over the instructions really quick. The LED is still turned on. I'm wondering if that on-off switch is just for the LED, and to turn this on and off, you just put it in the middle. So, well, nope, because it doesn't do anything like that. So, it's 1001. That turns it on. So, let's see. You're supposed to go over it once. Over it twice, or over it once. And then now over it a second time. Let's see what we get. So in this case, it's saying breaker number 4 is it. Let's just see if it says what it's labeled. Receptacle in the office, so that's correct. All right, let's see if we hit number 4, whether that turns everything off in the office or not. My monitors are off. My wall clock is off. And my fan is off. And the outlet is off. I'll run back in the shop and I'll turn the breaker back on. Come back on. Yippers. So it really doesn't get any better than that. I would call this one a success. And any product where you can go over the instructions and, you know, whatever it took us, just less than a minute, and set it up in less than a minute, I think is a good thing. So I'm a little winded, but I just want to point out that I've had this thing probably for 5 years, and this got dropped directly in the shop. So I'm going to call this one durable. So I'll say that this one's durable as well too. This one feels a little lightweight. So I bet if you do the 6-foot drop test, it doesn't work, but the 3-foot drop test maybe might, but I would be concerned with dropping. Did I turn this thing off? Oh, 2 beeps is off. Okay, perfect. So I accidentally left it on, and like the manual said, it probably would have timed out after 5 minutes. This one, I definitely feel like it would be okay to drop. This one, I wouldn't. And I wish more manufacturers would do their battery compartment like this without having to do a screw, because it makes it just so much easier to pop a couple batteries in there and access it pretty easy. So, but I think I paid less than $100 for this, but it just did exactly what it was supposed to do with very little learning curve. So as far as I'm concerned, that bad boy's a win.